Hope Channel, changing lives.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. It's another Wednesday, it's another story, it's a new face but not so new face, and we are going to have a good discussion. If you are ever wondering how you can be part of our community, that is the Real Talk community, where we speak on relationship, where we speak on financial issues, where we speak on adolescence challenges, where we speak on marital problems, and many more. You can do so by watching us live on Facebook and YouTube at Hope TV Ghana. Obviously watching us on your screens at home as well. And more importantly, you can also join us by sending us your story. You know, whatever it is you may be going through, whatever it is somebody may be going through, a story a friend has shared with you that you need people to discuss. You need the right people to have the right conversation. You need the right experts to have the conversation. You can send those stories to us, to our WhatsApp number or our email address. You can even send it to us on Facebook. That is Hope TV Ghana. Send it to a direct message and we will make sure we draft the story to suit the problem exactly and find you the right people to have the right conversation. This is what we do here, and it's our main purpose to just find you the people who can speak on it, who can offer solutions to the problem that you may be going through. And today is typical of an obvious day on Real Talk, where we are going to have a conversation. And we are not going to beat around the bush. We are going to talk exactly on the topic. And I'm obviously not going to do this by myself. I have amazing panelists joining me in the studio and virtually as well. And today's topic is very interesting. We've titled it, I think my husband is interested in my best friend. Ever so often we hear people talking about husbands looking at their friends in weird ways, flirting with their friends, hugging them for too long, keeping the handshake going for a longer period of time. And you wonder if these things are true. But today we are here to tell you that they are true. People are going through things like this. And people are afraid to have the conversation. They're afraid to sit their husbands down and talk about it. I don't know if it is the fear of, if he admits, am I going to walk out? Are we going to solve the problem? Am I going to lose a friend over this? Because you can agree with me that we have friends that are closer than even blood siblings. And it will be painful to lose one relationship to gain another. But the problem also is, if you lose your friend, is your husband going to stop following other people? That is what we are going to talk about today. And in the studio with me, this my friend, she has abandoned me for like over a year now. But there's a reason why. But today she's here. Mrs. Josephine Owusu AJ. Hey, Josephine. The way I am with you. What happened? How is life? How has life been?
Life has been great.
I can see.
It has really been great.
We thank God. We thank God.
Now we are back.
Now, thank you. Thank you. Whoever was keeping you away from me, that I know, that he knows. Thank you that you are back. But how is work? How is the family? How are you adjusting?
Oh, gradually we are on it. And by God's grace, we are still on it. So we see God's wisdom in order to go about our family duties. As it's not been a very long time we got married. So we are adjusted.
Yeah.
And then work has been also great.
We thank God. You are looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's for you. Joining me virtually, I have Pastor Prince Obed Sewo. Pastor, how are you doing today? Pastor, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's from my end or it's from your sound, if you are muted. Unfortunately, I still can't. I think it's from my end. We are going to work on your audio and get back to you shortly. But Joseph, if you can hear me, Joseph Chema is also joining us. Joseph too, it's been a while. It's good to have you, Joseph. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, it looks like all my Zoom guests, we have a problem with our audio. We are going to work on it very shortly. As we read our story, we are going to work on the audio and then I'll get back to you shortly. So, as I said early on, this story we have entitled, I think my husband is interested in my best friend. And she goes on to say, "Dear Real Talk, I am at a crossroad and don't know what to do. Either to lose an amazing friend or lose my husband. I am noticing some things and I don't like what I am seeing at all. I am a young lady of 32 years, married for 4 years with a child. For the past year now, I have been noticing my husband's wandering eyes. I know your audience will ask me if I didn't see this before marriage, and the honest truth is no. My husband never gave me the indication that he would be unfaithful or entertain such thoughts and actions. He's always been very respectful of our union. I have a best friend. In fact, she's the definition of strangers can become family. I have known her for 10 years now, and she's always been there, even when my own family has deserted me. She's stuck by me. We do everything together, pray, laugh, cry, etc. She is our child's godmother and best auntie ever." So she continues to say, she's not married yet, but she's more than a counselor. She always corrects me when I'm doing things that won't help my marriage. This friend dealt with men who treated me bad. She strongly warned my husband never to hurt me or he will have a huge problem with her before we got married. Evie, for a while now, my husband has started showing unhealthy interest in my friend. He always wants to know details about her, if she's dating someone, if she's planning on getting married. He's been subtly acting overly touchy with her, which I have picked on. For instance, he hugged her for far too long the last time, and my friend had to push him away. He tried holding her hands one time to cross the road while I was there, and she blatantly told him she's not a child. And what is he holding her hands for when mine are free? What is making me very upset is he suggested my friend comes to live with us since she's alone in her apartment, which isn't safe. And we have a 4-bedroom, and she gets to spend more time with her goddaughter. That is our child. I told him she's fine where she is. This behavior of his is making me very annoyed and upset with my friend, even though she's done absolutely nothing to me and has shown me how she dislikes his behavior the few times he's been bold to act so in public. I remember one time my friend called me in the morning frantic, asking if everything was all right with us. And I asked why. She said she woke up to 6 missed calls from my husband at dawn. So she automatically assumed something must be wrong because she doesn't know why else he would call by that time. I confronted him and he said he had a bad dream about her, so he wanted to find out if she's okay. Before I confronted him, he never mentioned this bad dream he had. Is my husband trying to get with my friend? Well, cutting off my friend saved my marriage. I don't want to lose my friend who is like a sister to me. Please help a confused wife. We are going to go into the discussion shortly, but before then, I want to remind you that you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928 *34 *104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 02491 93083. And automatically you become an angel of hope. We hope that it is your desire to be an angel of hope, and God bless you as you do so. We are going to go into the discussion. I'll check in with my Zoom guests shortly, but Josephine, what's going on in your mind? Reading the story, hearing it again, what is your general take?
When I read about it, I started discussing with my husband, and we saw that it is practical.
Okay.
And it is common. Yes, it is very common. As the lady senses that the husband might or maybe even currently he is going out with a friend, which wasn't stated in. Yes. So by the end of the story, we will definitely go into the story and get to know the causes of why the husband is looking elsewhere and the solutions, whether she's supposed to leave the friend or the husband.
Right. And I obviously know that would be a tough decision for her to make. But like you said, we will look at it and see how best we can help her. Let me check in with Pastor again. Okay, I will come back and check in with Pastor shortly. But just like you said, this is common.
Yeah.
You hear it. Oh, my husband is looking at my friend this way. My friend is behaving like that towards my husband. And then you're asking yourself, why is this happening? What is going on? But really, should this even be up for discussion? I ask because 10 years, their friend has shown no indication that, oh, I'm interested in your husband and I want to marry him and I want him to be my partner. And suddenly the husband is doing this. Do you think this is sudden? Do you think the wife hasn't picked on? Do you think it must have been going on for a while?
Probably. Yeah, because the friend might be even dating the husband way back before the marriage, which she might not know.
Wow.
Yes, people can really pretend to be nice,
that's true.
But behind the scenes they are doing a lot of things which you don't know.
That's true.
And she has blocked her mind in terms of that because she feels that it's her friend, it's her best friend, it's a godmother to her daughter. You see the way she describes her friend.
Yes.
So in this case, even if she's doing something wrong, her mind would not be going there. That, oh, this my friend is doing that. And since she's ignorant about it, that would even make her friend to do those things better behind her. Yes. So it might be that it is true. And she was pretending. For the indicators, she can pretend for a longer time, more than 10 years. And you've not seen it. Yes. So that one is common. Yes, it's
but
very
before
common.
I go to Pastor, you got married a little over a year ago. What is your opinion on keeping friends as a married woman? And is it advisable? I know some people say, make your husband your best friend. Some of us say,
even premarital counseling,
they tell us all this. Yeah.
Oh.
So what is your opinion on that? Do you think it's advisable to still keep your friends, or you think once you are married, you have no business with single, women?
Okay, I see that it's not bad to keep friends. Friends, they have their roles to play when it comes to marriage. They have their roles to play.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong to keep friends, but keep good friends. Because you definitely see from their speech if they are bad or they are good. Yes. So it's not bad to keep friends, but keep good friends.
Yeah.
And then you pray along for God to open your mind and your eyes to see whether your friends are good or they are bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, your husband is your best friend, but friends also have their roles to play when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
Your husband has also his role. So there's nothing wrong keeping friends, but the closeness. When you are married, you can't be that close, as she said that she used to be close, so now she still wants to be close to the best friend. No, because when you get married, you're supposed to do a lot of things with your husband, with your spouse, very close, because now you are one.
Right.
And then you are being transparent. Everything you do it together in the marriage. So the best friend, as in before marriage, you can't keep her now.
We eat together, we laugh together, we cry
that
together.
one no. But at least once in a while, you call your friend to check up. Once in a while, you can go and visit. But spending much time and neglecting your family, because now you're a family woman, for that one, you can't do it. But you don't reject your friend.
Right.
You don't reject. But you keep her and you keep your husband. And then you give her boundaries. Boundaries. Because now you are married. It's not everything you allow your friend to come into the scene as you used to you used to do. Because we have some, they don't set any boundaries.
That's true.
Yes. Even in a absence, she will come and tell you that, oh, please, go, you can go and pick up my daughter from school. You can give my daughter some food to eat before I come.
Right.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that, but trust issues. When it comes to marriage, everybody is a competitor. Yes.
I like that.
So you can't trust anybody like that. You have to be very vigilant.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust her that she used to be a best friend and so still she's a best friend. No. Whilst she isn't married.
Yeah.
She isn't married.
She isn't.
And she's single. So it might be she's even envious of your marriage, which you aren't aware. And she's not showing up anything. So you think, oh, keeping her is fine. But she's single. She's not married. Even if she is married, she can still go for your husband.
We hear married people.
Yes. So when it comes to marital stuff, you need to be vigilant. And you need to be very smart and prayerful. Absolutely,
I agree with you. Vigilant, smart, and prayerful. Pastor, I'm coming to you now. Pastor Obed Sewell. I hope your audio is working. But Pastor, I want to ask, hearing the story, what is your general take? And to piggyback on what Josephine just spoke about with regards to opinion on keeping friends as a married woman. Because according to her story, this is like a sister to her. They've been friends for a decade and over. She's her child's goddaughter, and according to the lady, she's been there through thick and thin. I'm guessing longer than she knowing her husband. She's fought off bad men. She's literally like her what is the word, as they say, bosom friend. I want your general take and then your opinion on keeping friends as a married person. Is it advisable or not?
Well, I would say that well, it is not really a bad thing to keep a friend, even though you are married, because we have something we call support system. Yeah, so the support system comprises of your friends, your family, your church members. So all that comes together to form a support system. And in this world today, we call it the social network. And you see, we talk about the wider your social network, the bigger your social net worth. You understand it?
Yeah.
And so, but like the earlier speaker spoke about, keeping boundary is key. There are things that you can discuss with friends and with families, but there are things that you cannot actually discuss with them as far as your marriage is concerned.
Yeah.
Don't forget me, forgive me, I'm a pastor,
Yeah.
And so the Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 2, verse 22 all the way to 24, it makes us aware that the two of them were naked, but they were not ashamed.
Yes.
It means that the nakedness is between you and your husband and nobody else. You understand it? So you'll be as plain with your husband and your spouse as possible, but your husband or your spouse, you keep a boundary around your marriage.
Sure.
And so, but well, as we go on, we'll see a lot of things that will unfold.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the husband has a challenge, and the wife will have to now play a very important role to help reform the man, or else things will get out of hand. Yes.
Or else wahala. Joseph, I don't know if you're there. Can you hear me, Joseph? Yes. Joseph, obviously, I'll ask you about your take on the story. But for you in particular, my question will be, since you're a man, reasons why her husband is acting this way. I mean, is it just pure lust? Or is it innocent care? He claims he called her that 6 times because he had a bad dream. And I'm wondering how you wake up from sleep and have a bad dream about your wife's friend and not tell your wife that, oh, my wife, I just had this dream. But that's what has he become fond of the lady as a sister who he is reaching out to, or this is just pure lust? And if it is so, Why? What could be his reason? Is he seeing something in the friend that he's not seeing in his wife? What is it? Or somebody will say the devil is playing in his backyard and he's allowing him to be playing in that backyard.
Thank you so much. To yourself, panelists, and then viewers and listeners out there. First of all, my take on the story is that the lady is having a suspicion, and the suspicion might be a healthy one, because what is going on, if the story actually is true, then it means the husband is actually having some kind of romantic or sexual feeling towards her friend, and that is worrying. So it's good thing that he has a suspicion. Now back to your question as to why a man would do that. Of course, many people have said that men are dogs. Well, I don't agree to some extent, but sometimes it's also true. He might not be doing that for nothing. I'm thinking that it is pure lust. It is lust that is making him do that. Other than that, how come? To the extent that you can even hug her in front of your wife for a very long time. So the girl or the lady pushes you away. And then you can even call at dawn more than 6 times because you think you had a bad dream.
Yeah.
But at first of all, even praying with your wife that maybe we had a bad dream about your friend, so let's pray for her before you even told her.
Yes.
So, looking at the story, the man is having some kind of unjustifiable lust. And the reason might be that they are talking too much. They are talking too much. Because the thing is, anytime you talk, especially with the opposite sex, too much, shares some kind of feelings together, especially feelings of hate, feelings of happiness and all that, it draws you closer to the person. You might not think initially that this is what you want to do, but before you knew it, then you're already in there. So it comes bit by bit, bit by bit. So my thinking is that they are talking too much, and there should be some kind of gap between the man and then his wife's friend. If not, the unthinkable will happen. There should be that gap. Even if they will talk at all, it's not everything they should discuss.
Yeah.
If not, they will get close. And once they get close, like pools repel, but opposite pools they attract.
Yeah.
It's so basic. So the man can look at that.
That's true. I mean, there could be so many reasons. Before I come to Josephine, Pastor, just by the fact that you're a man and also a pastor who has obviously, I'm sure, come across stories like this and probably has counseled so many couples, what could be the reason why this man is beginning to act this way? And the wife is saying that if we ask her if she noticed such behavior, she would honestly say no. He isn't this kind of a person, but she's noticing it. And we are wondering, is this lust? Is this genuinely care? Or there could be reasons why a married man for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, or 5 years, could be behaving like this with a friend that he has known since he knew his wife, because they've been friends before they got married. What could be the reason why he is doing this?
Well, thank you. You realize that every man, or I should say that every human being, because of sin, is crooked. Every man, because of sin, has a weakness. Every man, because of sin, is broken. And it is good that the wife is smart and can identify these things or see these things in the early stages. And so that tells the wife it opens the eyes of the wife to the role she will now have to play in the life of this man to be able to get him healed, so to say, and get him, by the grace of God, straightened to have a husband and a father to her children.
Right.
You know, and I would say that, truth be told, you know, initially when we got married, we all had issues in our lives. Our wives have been pillars in our lives and have brought us this far. You understand it?
Yeah.
And so it is not something to be too bothered about and then you break down. No, it is something that, and that is why she is in his life. So it is not something that you begin to be judgmental about, you know. And so you don't judge the man for seeing what you are seeing. But what do? You have to open up with the man, you know, communicate openly and honestly with the man, and begin to find out from him honestly. And the Bible, you know, the Bible talks about the fact that the man was naked, means that the man should be able to open up to the wife. This is your wife, the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh. And so an honest way of approaching the man, and a very unjudgmental way, unanxious way, and a very empathetic way, you know, coming from the fact that the man she married is not a perfect person. Yes. And so therefore, if you see, now that you have seen these things, it gives you the room to begin to engage in a frantic communication with your husband. And this thing she should do with every empathy that it deserves. And so that now the man will actually, through prayer, break down and begin to open up that, yes, probably from my childhood, this and that and that and that. I have been nurturing these ideas, probably from my childhood, and maybe even I have been adorizing a woman who looks like your friend. But I met, before I met your friend, and so she looks like the woman I have always been idolizing. But now I'm married to you, or I saw you and I have proposed love to you before meeting her. And so this and this. But so now, if the man can open up, I am sure the wife will be able to help him and get it right. The truth of the matter is that she should be able to ask him, you know, if it is me, your wife, who is doing this, what you are doing, if it is me, your wife, who is doing it to your best friend, how will you feel? You know? And so, if some of these things come up, the man will begin to come to his senses and get to know that, no, this path is wrong.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, he will be able to know that, no, and I don't want to break my home. I don't want to lose my child. I want to be a role model for my child and my wife. I want to keep my marriage, you know. And so, and it happens like that, you realize that then healing will begin to set in. And the grace of God brings healing.
Yep.
You understand it?
Yes.
And so, I should say. There is hope.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
something has to be done as quickly as possible now. The wife has a role to play as quickly as possible now to be able to get the husband and the father of her child. Yes.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Indeed, just before we go on the break, I don't know if you have something to add to the reasons why this man married is suddenly showing these behaviors to his wife's best friend. What could be some of the reasons why he's doing this?
it might be that the lady is not playing her role well as a wife. She should ask herself. Probably she's not keeping herself well as she used to do after birth. Maybe she's not communicating very well with the husband, and now the husband finds comfortably to speak to the best friend. Or it might be that there's something that she was doing and she's not doing now. So now the husband is looking elsewhere. Or it might be that is the real attitude of the husband, but he hid it before the marriage, and now it is being exposed, because marriage, it will definitely expose everything. Everything,
absolutely, yes.
So that might be the reasons why the husband is. So the lady should look through her life, what she used to do and now she has stopped doing. She should try to ask questions about herself, and then try to put solutions to it, and then pray and communicate to the husband.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk more on how she should handle this problem after the break. Please remember that you can send your comments to us through Facebook and YouTube, and I'll do well to read your comments as well. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we will look at how she can handle the issue. Because from all the narration that she gave, she hasn't really brought the problem out to her husband to say, I'm suspecting this, I'm feeling this. So how can she go about handling it? And finally, if she can keep a friend and still keep her marriage, or she will have to lose one. We'll be right back after this break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
Hope Channel Ghana, in partnership with East Ghana Conference and the SDA Hospital Koforidua, presents a Father's Day special.
I come into your homes to tell you about prostate cancer. Prostate cancer has to do with cancerous lesions appearing within your prostate gland at a certain age, usually above the ages of 40 years. Early screening is able to help us detect this condition and then also create a favorable outcome after the treatment. There is going to be a free screening being done at the Koforidua SDA Hospital. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. Come and get screened. Thank you.
To register for the free prostate screening, send your details to 024 687 2083.
Together, we can make a difference and ensure that no man has to suffer from this terrible disease alone. Hope Channel, changing lives.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. And today we are talking about a lady who suspects that her husband is probably interested in her best friend because of some of the things he's doing, like hugging her for long, trying to hold her hands as they cross the road, calling her at ungodly hours in the name of he's had a bad dream. And she's just wondering what is going on. And I've been having the conversation with Josephine, I've been having it with Pastor Stewart, and I've been having it with Joseph. And we are trying to find solutions to the problem. You know, this topic is very, as Josephine clearly said at the beginning, that it's very common. You hear instances where people find out that their husbands are sleeping with their best friends. People leave their marriages because of problems, and 6 months later, their husbands are married to their friends. And they are asking, they're wondering, when did this happen? We keep seeing it. And it's a huge problem that is going on, and we are trying to help this woman out so as not to lose her home or her husband. I'll read some of the comments, then we can go back into the discussion. This one is from Priscilla Imbama Abasi. She says she should talk to her husband. The issue is not with her friend, but her husband. Philip Entry is saying, your friend is a very smart lady. She wants to create an impression, but she is dating your husband. They have gone far. She doesn't want you to blame her when you find out. Please protect your family first. Confront him now. Be smart as well. Mami Ajua Aka says, sit your husband down and let him know you are aware of his intentions. And mention all the instances to him. Even if you cut your friend off, he will go after her behind you. He will be happy knowing that you won't know. You can also decide to have a talk with your friend about your observation. If it continues, report him to someone he respects to talk to him. Helena Answer says, my dear, please talk to your husband about his recent behavior. Also pray for him. Your friend might be rejecting him for now, but you don't know tomorrow. Please pray a lot too. Don't allow the devil into your marriage. John Mark Sickler, I hope I got your name right, says, in all your narration, you haven't indicated if you had a discussion with your husband about the things you have observed. And you may want to listen to Pastor Anthony Melchizedek's ongoing Bible series on spiritual warfare for some practical advice. Check this out on the PESAC Facebook page for details. Okay. Our time is going very, very quickly, so I would ask, just we've heard the story, we've seen it. How can she go about handling this issue? Is it cutting her friend off that will solve it? Is it setting her husband down? Is it marriage counseling? Is it telling him, hey, I've seen this and this and this, if you don't stop, how can she go about it to solve the problem? What must she do?
Okay, first of all, she should pray.
Okay.
For prayer is the first option. And then once she prays, she will seek for God's wisdom. And then she will start with communication with the husband. So she should communicate with the husband first. Why is he doing that? Or has he been doing it before marriage that he hid it from her and she didn't know? So communication is key. Prayer is key. And then afterwards, the friend, she shouldn't even speak to the friend at all about this issue. It's just between she and the husband. And she should just observe the friend for some time. If she sees that it is the friend who is interested in the husband, or whether it's vice versa, whether it's the husband or is the lady, no problem. I feel that she should cut the friend off. And then she should focus on prayer and communication with the husband. But in another way around, it might be that even if she cuts the friend off, the husband might even go to her house. Because it might be he knows the friend's house. So even if you cut it off, she shouldn't come to your house. The husband might go there. So I think she should just deal directly with the husband. Communicating and praying so that the husband would change the attitude following the best friend. Because even if she tells the friend not to come to the house, the husband might even go to the friend's house. Yes. And so she should just deal directly with the husband and prayer so that he stops following the friend.
What is to say that if she cuts her friend off, he won't go for another woman? If that is his attitude.
Yes. If it is his attitude, then after the best friend, other women will also be there. But he should just pray that God changes the husband's heart and the attitude. Because prayer does a lot of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. Prayer and then communication is where to start from. Pastor, how can she handle this? Ways to go about handling this issue? Should she cut her friend off? Must she say, okay, you know what? I have identified the problem. It is my friend that my husband is interested in. I'm not ready to leave my husband, so I'm going to cut off my friend. Or you think there are other ways she can handle it where she can talk to her husband and still have her friend as that sister that she's talking so dearly of?
Thank you very much. Yes, I think that first of all, taking away the friend or cutting herself off the friend is not the way to go. Yes, rather, she should understand that she is in the life of this man because of some of these problems that is bound to happen. So she is like Esther, she is in the life of the man for a time such as this to be able to help him overcome such weaknesses. You understand? So she should brace up herself and understand that God has brought her into the life of this man because of some of these weaknesses. And so this is the challenge for her. This is the business that she's in the life of the man to help the man overcome. And so I will say that, like our guest said in the studio, open communication is one thing. open communication is one thing. As she's praying, she should humble herself enough to know that this man has a challenge. So she shouldn't hide it. She should open up with the man and be ready to draw the man's attention to this challenge. And help the man to understand that, Bible tells us that we should keep ourselves away from every appearance of evil. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22 says, keep ourselves or abstain from every appearance of evil. And so the path the man is taking is evil. It can destroy him. It can destroy their beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
It can also destroy the life of the child. You understand it?
Yeah.
And so it is important for her to help the man to understand this truth. And so that the man will now begin to come to his senses and know that, no, my wife loves me. And so therefore, I would want to do what? Make sure that I help myself. Because it's true to be told, if he leaves or cuts the friend off, the man will go after other ladies.
Right.
Which now the man, the woman might not even know. So this is like she said, it's a spiritual battle. She should embrace herself and fight it. It is not something that will stop in one day or 1 week or 1 month. It can take some time, but she should be ready to fight this battle. And the Lord is with her, and she should begin to set boundaries. She should open up with her friend to, assess the friendship with her friend and let the friend understand that, see, you realize that even the friend also knows that something wrong is happening.
Yeah.
She had to separate herself from the man when the man was hugging her. She realized that, no, this is not correct. This is not normal.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. So her friend is not comfortable, and she might not know how to confront the issue. So the lady should open up to her friend and tell the friend, I've seen this. I need you to help me to be able to help my husband. And so these are the boundaries. Please, you would have to open up to me. If you're truly my friend and you love me, the number of times you come to my house should reduce. If my husband calls you, if you be open to me and you love me, please, can you send me, let me know what he would want to do and all that. So the friend has to help this lady here. If truly she's a friend. You understand it?
Yeah.
Because a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Yeah.
And she thinks that she can, engage with this man secretly. Okay, fine. She might engage with the man secretly, but she should know that this man will leave her for another lady, and she will lose. So rather, she should join her friend and help her married friend help the husband.
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So she should open up with her friend, and I think that the friendship, yes, and then seek therapy. The lady should help the husband seek therapy. That's a counselor. We need to, because like I said, we have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. The Bible tells us. You understand it?
Yeah.
And so we all need help in one way or the other. Don't think that you are good. No, there are things emotionally, physically. Why is it that when we are sick physically, we go to the hospital? So emotionally, when something is not going on well, we equally have to seek a therapist or a counselor, psychologically as well as spiritually. You get it?
Yeah.
And so she should also seek a therapy and help. The therapy will be able to help reform the man and bring the man, be able to unearth the weakness of the man,
Yeah.
and resolve it and help them keep their healthy marriage or keep their relationship well. Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Pastor. Joseph, I'm going to come to you, and my question is the same, really. Must she cut off her friend? Should she? How does she go about solving the problem? Should she talk to the husband? Because right now she's going based off instincts and assumptions and what she's seen and how she's feeling. She hasn't had the conversation yet. So how does she go about it? I mean, Pastor and Josephine they've given their opinion on that with regards to prayer, communication, and therapy. But in your opinion, what more can she do? And does she need to take the friend out of the picture and say, they say what? If your hand is worrying, you cut it off, no? Is this his stance here, or she needs to find a way of dealing with it? And also, before you end your thoughts on that, I would ask you, is it possible to save both relationships? That is the relationship with her husband and then the relationship with her friend. Do you think that she can solve the problem and still have a friend, or you think that definitely one must go?
Yeah, I think the ideal situation is to keep both the husband and then the friend. That is the ideal situation.
Okay.
Because she narrated that for the past 10 years, the friend has been very, very supportive.
Yeah.
In every way, even when the family had deserted her, the friend was there.
She said that.
So she needs to be grateful and let the friend be around. The husband is also a husband. She cannot divorce.
No.
Especially as a Christian, from where I sit, God hates divorce. So she must stay in the marriage. But she needs to do something. Now, someone has said that a marriage plagued with suspicion is not a good one, regardless of whether or not an actual affair is taking place or not. Let me take that once again. A marriage plagued with suspicions is not a good one, regardless of whether or not an actual affair is taking place or not. So you have your suspicions. Why don't you clear yourself from these suspicions? You need to be clear. If you are not clear, you might be harboring some thoughts which will take you into a ditch. And that ditch might be so long that you cannot come out again. So the first thing she needs to do is able to take control of her thoughts, of her emotions, and gather courage to be able to speak about the matter. Now, one relationship expert, Alex Carlin, she's in the US, she has said that in a situation like this, the better thing to do is to have sought the advice or the counsel of good friends. Now, her friend happens to be the one she is suspecting the husband with.
Right.
So what should she do? The first thing is confronting the husband. But that confrontation should be honest and direct one. My dear or my darling husband, I've seen that you've done this, A, you've done B, you've done C to my friend, even in front of my own eyes. It tells me that you are harboring some kind of feelings for her. What do you think? Now, you cannot have honest conversation if you don't control your emotions. That's what I first said, that control your emotions. After the emotions are being controlled, then you have this honest and direct conversation. You don't have to be circumventing around the issue and trying yourself that the man should actually say it by himself. No, go to him. This is what A, B, C, D that I've seen that you are doing. And I think it amounts to this. And I'm not comfortable with that. Let that be clear. These are practical ways of setting boundaries. You cannot just set boundaries with your mouth or inside your head and then you are just there. You voice them out so that they know. I know men who can even delete their friends, their wife's male friends, contacts from their wife's phone. I know people who do that. That is setting a boundary, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you have to set a boundary. And the boundary is telling your husband, is this, that, and these things that you do that I don't feel comfortable with, that I think that when you do that, you are trying to cheat on me, and I'm not comfortable with that. Let's have this conversation. Now, when you have finished with your husband, then you are saying that this friend, even in time past, men who have dealt with you, is this same friend who has also dealt with them. So why not go to your friend and tell her she should be aware that I've seen this and that I've already confronted my husband about it, and I'm coming to you. I don't like it. You should be able to tell your friend. Other than that, she isn't your friend. What are you afraid of? Now, most at times, what people think is that me cocaine, maybe a relationship might fall on maybe some rocks or something. People harbor some of, in fact, we watch them in movies and all that. Yeah. People entertain this thought that, okay, this is what is happening. If I go and say it, maybe a relationship might spoil. People harbor some of these ideas. No, you shouldn't harbor it. Just go to your friend and have that earnest conversation you had with your husband that is this and that you and my husband are doing, I don't like it. Have that conversation. If possible, invite the friend after he has spoken to them both to the house and also hammer that same point. I invited you here, truth be told, because let your friend be aware that you invite her. You just don't want to leave no stone unturned. You just need to be sure that you've cleared every hurdle. When she comes and then you have finished eating and all that, Charlie, this is it. As I told you about, my husband is here. You are also here. I don't like this, ABCD. And that is it. And I'm sure any man who reasons enough, seeing that the wife has taken absolute control of her emotions, has done this honest assessment of the situation, I doubt any sensible person would do that. Even if the person would do that, it will not be with a friend, but with another person. And mind you, when the husband cheats, the woman will get vexed, she will get angry and heartbroken. But she'll be more heartbroken if the person the husband had an affair with is her friend. But I don't agree.
Yeah.
So maybe you cannot prevent your husband from having a extramarital affair, but you can prevent him from having that affair
with your best
friend.
With another person.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even happen.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As I keep on saying, what Ghanaians are also lacking now, not even Ghana, the whole wide world, we take premarital counseling very seriously. But post-marital counseling, in fact, you've thrown that to the box. It shouldn't happen that way. From time to time, even after marriage, we should be having some of these counseling sessions with our spouses. Even if they will not go, we should find a way of learning new things, new ideas. We should be learning a lot.
I absolutely agree with you, Joseph, but unfortunately I have 2 minutes to go. I wish you could go on and on, but I have to take my final word. Just be quickly, your final words for this couple.
Okay. They should pray. Both of them should pray, not the lady alone. They should be praying together.
Yeah.
And then seek God's wisdom. And then the lady should be transparent and be straightforward. directly communicating with the husband about what she has observed with the best friend. And then she should also speak to the friend and set some boundaries.
Right.
As to how she has been going around with the husband. Yes, she should set some boundaries. And then afterwards, I think things will be fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is all I would say.
Thank you so much. Pastor, quickly, your final words for the woman and then her husband.
All right. I will also say that by the grace of God, she should maintain her faith in God. And then she should also be able to take good care of herself, self-care, because surely as she sees what is happening, she is equally going to be hurt. She's going to be broken.
Yeah.
And that she should seek help for herself, and so that she can be able to play her role well in helping the man to reform and restoring the man to become the husband that she wants and the father that she wants for her children.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Joseph, very quickly, your final words.
And I think that their marriage is so young, 4 years. They are still in their honeymoon. They should be enjoying. So she should remove all the suspicions from there, confront the situation as how matters can be. So because marriage, even in this day, issues might come out, but let's confront it together.
Yeah.
Enjoy ourselves.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm there for.
Yes.
So she should enjoy her marriage. That's my take.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you, Pastor Sel. Thank you, Josephine. Thank you for coming today. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. To our guests at home, thank you so much for watching. And to our lady, I'm sure you've heard it all. Talk to your husband. Tell him exactly how you're feeling. Let him know how inappropriate his behavior with your friend is. And ask how he would feel if he had a best friend and you're hugging him for so long and you're grabbing his hand, trying to cross the road and calling him at dawn. Let him know exactly how you feel. And I think with communication and obviously with prayer, he will have a better understanding. And there's a need to go and talk to a professional about this. You never know if it is a habit that Josephine clearly said he's hidden, if it is just something he's trying to explore. You never know. And with your friend, yes, have the conversation. Let her understand. She clearly knows what is going on because she's blatantly told him, why are you touching my hand instead of your wife? Why are you calling me? So she knows what is going on. She's probably waiting for you to bring the conversation so that she'll let you know, I've noticed and I don't feel comfortable with it as well. But have the conversation with your husband. Let him know how bad his behavior is. Let him understand how it is affecting your marriage. And if he really wants your marriage and wants to work on it, he will come around and do what he has to do to make your marriage work. I'm praying that the solutions that I've been giving will help you. And it's a prayer that we hear from you saying it's worked and you guys are good. And hopefully you still have your friend and then your husband as well. And you guys come together and take care of your child. To my guests at home, thank you so much for watching. It's always a privilege to come into your home. We'll be back same time next week with another interesting story. Do well to send your story to us as well. And we will have a conversation just as we did here in the studio. So obviously my name is Evie, the host for the show, and I'll be back same time next week with yet another interesting story on Real Talk. But then in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV. And I'm sure you'll be blessed. Do have yourselves a lovely evening, and we'll be back same time next week. Good night.